Good news, immigration cases are moving. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. I am the first to admit that I was wrong. I thought that when President Trump took office in January of 2020, that USCIS would grind to a halt and stop processing applications. But in fact, what we're seeing, at least for cases inside the United States, they are moving very, very quickly. We are seeing people apply for citizenship and get their interviews in 3 or 4 months. We're seeing people get their green cards before they get their work authorizations. And we're even seeing old asylum cases, those that were filed from 2015, 2016, 2017, are really starting to move forward. And there are a lot of resources being thrown at these cases. Now, I don't necessarily think that the people running the Department of Homeland Security and specifically U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are processing these cases with the best of intentions. But the fact of the matter is cases are moving, and I want you to understand that. So if you are afraid to apply for an immigration benefit because you have some kind of criminal activity in your past or some fundamental reason, I can understand why you wouldn't apply. But in all actuality, it's a very interesting time, and it's probably a good time to apply for a benefit. Now, you are going to be held to a higher standard. You are going to be subjected to more scrutiny. But if you have a straightforward case, now is a great time to file. I would not wait too long to file, and I wouldn't not file because I think that USCIS isn't really processing cases. Now, of course, the one place where we're seeing cases not move quickly, and if you think about Project 2025 and you think about Donald Trump and you think about Stephen Miller and the people advising the president, it makes sense, and that is that overseas cases are not going very quickly. Overseas cases are going very slowly. So USCIS seems to be devoting most of its resources to adjudicating the cases for people inside the United States, people physically here. Now, I made a video right around the time that President Trump was coming into office talking about an invisible wall that's going to go out around the United States. And I do think that it's just going to keep getting harder and harder to bring spouses or fiancés or employees from overseas. But at the same time, the one time in my whole life that we saw the spouses of green card cases go as quickly as the spouses of U.S. citizens was under Donald Trump. And what that means is that maybe less people are applying, but also the cases are going faster. So we are seeing here in July of 2025, as we move into August, USCIS is really moving forward cases. Amani, my wife, and I were talking about this at the dinner table the other day. We have a citizenship case that got set for interview 6 weeks after we filed. There are a lot of people calling my Immigration Answer Show saying, Jim, we filed for our marriage-based green card case. We thought we would have more time to put our case together and to get things moving. And they find themselves with an interview notice before ever getting the work card, before much ability to develop more evidence. And this can be a hardship. I think when I mentioned the intentions of USCIS, I think it's because they're trying to find people that they can kick out and send them over to ICE for possible deportation. Remember, USCIS has a huge database on many, many immigrants in the United States, and I think that once they clear this backlog, they're going to go back and look at prior denials to see if there's people that they should be issuing notices to appear to. So it's a whole different ballgame at USCIS. I understand the fear, I understand the trepidation, but if you have a regular old citizenship case or a straightforward green card case, or if your asylum case has been pending for a while, get ready, because you're going to get an interview sooner rather than later, and you need to be ready at the time of filing. Because remember, if you file and you're not ready, if you file and things are missing, you might not have that much time to fix it. You might not have that much time to go back to the old country to get a document that you're missing, or to get a divorce decree or some kind of criminal record. You really want to make sure that your case is ready to go upon filing, because these interviews are coming faster and faster. So the good news is, you can apply and you should apply, and you will be in line to have your immigration benefit adjudicated. The bad news is it's going to be subjected to a little bit of extra scrutiny. But if you got a good case, if it's a strong one, file that bad boy and get your benefit. If you'd like our help filing your next immigration benefit case, give us a call, 314-961-8200, or email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're just looking for free resources, we have a ton of them. You can follow us on TikTok at Immigration Hacking. You can join our free Facebook group with 15,000 members. It's called Immigrant Home. Just look for it and we'll let you in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that whenever we go live, you get an alert and you'll get our new videos. We post 3 or 4 a week, and then we do our Immigration Answers live show 3 or 4 times a week as well. And that's just me answering questions for an hour, hour and a half from immigrants around the world trying to get answers to their immigration situation. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.